DNA Video Productions is a full-service video producer with a fleet of drones, 4K, and HD cameras, as well as a crew of video operators. We handle commercial and residential real estate videos, as well as events for promotional purposes. We create book trailers, both live-action and running stills, music videos, and website videos. We also film series shorts for online distribution and are currently involved in filming a political parody. We specialize in low-cost movie making. Call DNA Video Productions at 941-748-6865 or visit our website at www.dnavideoproductions.com. That's www.dnavideoproductions.com. Thank you. Our sponsor this month is Published, an affiliate of Village Voices. Published offers all author services from writing tips, critiques, manuscript evaluations, and editing, as well as tips to help you become published. If you prefer to self-publish, purchase the step-by-step book on publishing through Amazon, or purchase services a la carte, from formatting to creating custom covers, or even tips to gather endorsements. The staff is headed by 2 professional writers. After your books are published, either trade paper, electronically, or both, purchase marketing tips, web services, book trailers, or turn your book into an audiobook. Publish provides all your writing, publishing, and marketing needs. So give them a call at 941-748-6865. Contact them online at dgould497@aol.com, or go to the website at www.publishedavillagevoices.webs.com. Good afternoon. Welcome to Culture Coast. The intro you just heard was by Al Musitano, and today we're interviewing the band Faceless Bandits. Hi, Faceless Bandits.
Hello.
All right, so tell me a little bit about this, your name being Faceless Bandits.
Okay, well, what Faceless Bandits means is it means that we're not strapped down to a particular genre, and it also means that we aren't strapped down to particular band members, although there is the core of us, but we are also have explored in bringing on other people to our band. So.
Okay, so the transitioning in and out, sometimes you have more, sometimes you have less, but the core is 3 of you?
Yes. Correct.
Okay,
yes.
And the threesome core is Justin Labadie,
yep.
Doug Harnish, and David Lester.
Correct.
And Justin plays guitar and harmonica, and
Correct.
Doug plays banjo and guitar, and David plays the bass, and that is not just a bass guitar, that is a stand-up bass, the real thing.
Yeah.
All right,
definitely.
it's nice to be with you all today, and so you don't have any particular genre. Do you exclude any genres?
No.
Not really, no. We've done some mild Latin jazz for fun in a song, and we've taken punk rock songs and kind of just covered it what we think it should sound like when we play it, and,
Yeah.
Converted. All right. Blues, is that your core?
I would say
Rock and roll?
I guess since pretty much all the music is, I mean, we play banjo, so I mean, the bluegrass. You know,
It's
so the
essentially,
blues,
yeah.
Essentially, it started off wanting to kind of go with the bluegrass background and a rockabilly undertone with some mild punk undertones.
Yeah.
And then we just we've come up with our own sound where people say it's more newgrass or partially.
I like that.
We
Newgrass.
we call it bluebilly.
We call it
swamp
bluebilly.
grass. It's also swamp grass, kind of another.
So,
I can see a song being Bluebilly Swampgrass.
Yeah.
but so yeah, I mean, we try to write in some bluegrass country-esque fashion, but we all put our own spin on it because we all have different writing styles.
All right, and that just brought up another point. You write your own music?
Yes.
Yes.
All
we
of
do.
the music or some cover music?
We do some covers,
Some.
but we're in the. I mean,
We're in the
we
process
start,
of transitioning.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're just,
And we-
the writing's great. Our first song actually is the hardest one that we play. It transitions from a 6/8 feel into a quick 4/4, and then it does a key change. Like for guys getting together for fun, it's a pretty intricate song. Like especially for our first one that we wrote together.
Yeah, as a band.
And I'm going to start with Doug.
Mhm.
Your background in music, when did you first get into it? Is it a family thing? Does your family support it?
My family does support it. They love that I'm able to do it. I believe was one musician in my family. It was my grandfather, and he passed away when I was 8, and he gave me my first guitar, and that's where I started. I had 4 rusty strings on a guitar, and I had no one to teach me. My parents didn't play music. I mean, my mom played piano a little bit, and she sang, but she always did it quietly and when no one was around. So I just listened to Boston records and learned the chords that way.
Where did you grow up?
Palmetto.
Okay,
Florida.
so you were born right here in Florida?
Mhm.
That's not everybody.
Yeah,
is. I just had to verify that.
Yeah.
So, have you always just done the banjo and guitar?
Actually, no. When I was in middle school, I took orchestra. Actually, I took orchestra all the way up till I believe my junior year of high school, and played the violin with Josh there. And so that's how I had the guitar, and I always played it, but I had no one to teach me. I picked up the violin, and it's on the same clef, so then it made reading the music easy, but I still couldn't take it from the sheet music to the guitar. So then I tabs, learned how to do that.
And the guitar learning, did you, since you seem to be self-taught on it, is that by ear, or did you learn it because you knew the violin and started to understand the music?
At first it was all by ear, and then the internet. Then
Well,
I was
isn't
able to
that
find-
isn't that the greatest? I mean, you
Yeah.
can actually watch them and they'll show you the chords.
Before YouTube, when I had it, you actually had to listen for it. That's why I had old vinyl records that I played to. I didn't have a CD player. I'd put the vinyl on and I'd listen to the song. I'd lift the needle up and move it back.
But you had to
the beginning.
actually, somebody taught you the original chords, right? No?
I just started playing things. I didn't even know how to tune. I mean, I think the first time I really tried to tune the guitar was when I learned a Metallica song, and I knew how the intro started. So that's how I tune my guitar. Comes to find out that they tune a half step down, so they're flat. So I learned how to sing that way, flat. I learned how to play all my notes flat. And it wasn't until orchestra that, hey, by the way, you're doing all these notes wrong. Oh, okay.
Oops.
Yeah.
And do you have a day job, or does this?
Yes.
Is this?
No, I work full time, 40 hours a week
Okay.
at the moment.
Are you in a musical field?
No, definitely not. More
Okay.
machining. I wish I was doing music full time, but it's pretty hard to get
That,
into.
that's
all,
the
right?
that's the
Yeah.
direction
We
you
all
want to
can
head
afford
in.
to do
That would
Okay.
be nice, yeah.
All right, and next, Justin, your beginnings in music.
Well, I come from a musical family. My dad plays guitar, and he plays a very interesting instrument called the harp guitar, which not only a few thousand people in this world even play. And but I started playing guitar when I was probably, I I would say I really started to learn how to play guitar when I was about 11. I mean, I was always interested, and my dad always had musical instruments, and my friends would come over, and he would bang on pots and pans, and like we would just have family jam sessions. Although I really wasn't officially learning anything at that point in time, it was just all kind of fun. But then I played in high school. I was in marching band classes. I never was actually in marching band, but I just loved music, so I played drums, and I was in a lot of punk and metal bands, and then
You said you were in a lot of punk and metal bands, garage type bands.
Garage bands.
So
we
you
never
would-
really even
you get-
played shows. It was
You
just
get
more of
a few
like
guys
friends.
together and you'd practice at least once or
Yeah.
twice a week. And
Exactly. And
hang
then
out.
and then we'd all like end up breaking. The band would break up before we ever actually booked shows because we just hate each other. We hung out. So
Any
much.
Battle of the Bands at the high school?
Yeah, actually, we did play Battle of the Bands. I never won anything, but actually with David, we grew up playing music together. So we actually did play. We played a Less Than Jake song.
For a talent show.
Yeah, we played it for a talent show, and he came out with a skull suit on. Or he came out with a skull mask on and a suit, and he jumped over the drummer, and then like basically was what they call skanking, which is a ska dance, in front of everybody in the school, and we didn't win anything, but we definitely had a blast.
You got a lot of attention.
Yeah, and I was playing drums at the time, so I played guitar my whole life, but now it's main instrument. Before it was drum. It was always drumming. So, but I was actually in a death metal band that my drum set got stolen. So I was.
How did somebody
heartbroken.
steal drums?
Well, it was kind of one of those things where it was bandmate had taken it and
Okay.
stole the whole kit and disappeared, and it was actually like 12 years of work to build this drum set my dad and I had spent. So I was heartbroken, and I just quit playing music for a long time because I just couldn't get over the fact that like basically
What a
part of me
betrayal.
was stolen.
Yeah,
you know, so-
what a betrayal. Your baby's gone.
Yeah, never talked to that guy again. Never saw him or anything. He just disappeared off the face of the earth after that.
With your drums.
Yeah, with my drums.
And David, what about your beginnings?
My beginnings are with Justin. We've been friends since middle school. And one day he's like, we're going to start a band. You're playing the bass. And he had a bass, loaned it to me, and I just played it every day. And
Now, this is a bass guitar.
yes,
Yes.
electric bass.
Okay.
So I just started playing bass. I picked up a lot real quick, learning just simple punk rock songs. And
Now, did you take orchestra?
I was in jazz band.
You were in jazz band. Okay.
And
And
I-
that's how you got into the
Upright?
stand-up bass?
No, I did. I got into stand-up bass because I moved out to California for a few years, and I was real big in the rockabilly scene out there. And I just loved the sound of doghouse bass and the guys just slapping on it or taking it for a walk. And I was just really, really wanted to get an upright bass. So Justin and I hunted for one on Craigslist. We found one, and I drove down Northport or somewhere down south to a pawn shop and bought it. And
Oh, he drove 500 miles.
Yeah, not
He
just-
was
he just
working in
drove.
Orlando, and it was in Fort Myers.
oh yeah,
And I called him and I said, "Hey, I found one found one at a pawn shop for a really good price." And I was like, "I think you should go down there and check it out." So he got off work and he drove all the way from Orlando to Fort Myers to go pick up this bass.
And the pawn shop was still
That-
open?
And
Yes.
and that one right there, and it's so funny because he got there like 20 minutes before it closed. I mean, he was cutting it so close. Like if he would have gotten stuck in traffic,
Or
it
if somebody
never
had
would've-
bought it before he got there.
And there was like 4 other people that were talking about on Friday getting paid and coming to buy it because it was such a good deal. I mean, you know,
And it's
Couldn't
not,
pass it up.
they aren't a dime a dozen.
yeah, especially in this area. you know.
Yeah. All right. Now, musically, how long have the three of you been together? The core.
Since October.
So
Because we
not
played-
quite a
October
year.
of
you-
not quite a year.
Not even
Not quite a year. And immediately you started getting these picnics.
Picnics. Well, yeah. I mean, it was kind of funny because we had talked about with another band, kind of doing the Riverwalk had just opened downtown Bradenton.
Incredible.
So yeah,
Very nice.
and so we had this idea. We were kind of like how Faceless Bandits started is we basically were what we call banditizing places, which is street performing. And we had
That's how we
talked
got
with
our
another
show.
band about doing some stuff down at the Riverwalk. And so that happened in November, and that's basically how the Pick and Picnic thing started down there. But yeah, I mean, that's essentially how that started.
And you've
But
said that you're going to try to do it 4 times a year, every quarter?
Yeah, that's
possible.
the goal too, if possible.
Yeah,
I mean, it may not happen that way, but yeah, that's essentially
That's being just talked about, discussed right now.
And I think it sounds like a really great idea to use the Riverwalk in that way and bring music to the people. It looked like a really nice turnout this past Sunday.
It was definitely surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, we did 3 of them before this one, and we were trying to be quiet about it so the city wouldn't get us in trouble because we were banditizing things.
We basically weren't. We were doing it
Rogue style.
Yeah.
rogue or punk rock or however you
Yeah.
want to say it. We basically had no permits to do it, and then one of the last Pick and Picnics, not the last one at the Cock and Bull, but the one before that, at the Riverwalk at the amphitheater. I mean, we had to have it. There was at least 300 people there. And that was with, like, barely any advertising, and people were just walking down the Riverwalk and coming to the amphitheater to watch us play. And so we had set up, like, 5 or 6 bands to play, and everybody came down, and everybody donated their time. That was a really cool thing. To make Pick and Picnic happen, this is the first time the bands have been paid or anything, because
That's
we
what
actually
happens
had
when you
fun.
get sponsors.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And I understand it was for a good cause, too. There was a lot of money raised for the Healthy Teens Coalition
Yeah.
and the Roll Forever.
Yeah.
Which
Those
is
both,
a skateboarding
yeah.
We
one.
But
help those
really,
guys out.
above all, I'm speaking for myself, and I'm sure these guys agree with me. The biggest thing that I got from it is the fact that the community and families are coming together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
All
the
with
whole
music.
premise behind Pick and Picnic is there's a lot of couples or families out there that aren't able to go to shows because they're either at a bar and they can't get a babysitter, or they don't like going to bars.
A lot of people
Or,
don't.
or some families.
You know, and that's the truth. A lot of people do not like clubbing. They don't
Yeah,
like going
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And I mean, especially once you have a family,
Yeah.
it's like, what's the point?
And
There's
then
singles
some-
pickup joints, and who wants to go
Exactly.
anymore?
Yeah.
It's past, you know.
And the way some families are too is if their kids can't go, then they have no business being there.
Right.
So we wanted, the whole idea behind the event was to make a family-friendly event where the kids can be outside and play, the parents can see live music because they may not get a chance. And
Now, how long were you there this past this past one that was funded, so sponsored?
What do you mean?
Well,
by
you
that?
only had an hour on stage, but
Oh,
were you there the
oh,
whole
yeah.
day?
Oh, yeah,
Oh
we
yeah,
were there
we were
the
there
whole
the whole
time.
day. It
Since
was
it
it went from 11 till
10.
till
10.
10. And earlier in the day there were some younger groups that had played at the amphitheater area. So we were at the pavilion area. We didn't really get a chance to see some of those bands because we were busy, like making sure everything's set up and all the bands are there and that. But we heard it went very well also, and that they raised a lot of money. Yeah, that was
I'm going to be interviewing the last one up on the Mosaic, the amphitheater at the Mosaic Amphitheater, Cordova.
Cordova?
And
Yeah.
doing them later. So, okay, the type of music that you do you do clubs?
I mean, yeah, we definitely aren't against playing anywhere, really. I mean, the band itself is like most bands, we play at bars and we play just about any venue that wants.
Since you're not really doing cover music,
Mm-hmm.
it's harder to get gigs, is it not?
Another one of the reasons that we did the Pick and Picnic too is because there's so much local talent, and maybe not all of them. I think with the new laws, and it's not new because we played in bands years ago when they were all ages shows. They just put X's on your hand, and you could go in, but you had to be gone before 11. You could go into a bar and watch a band, even though there's beer. Now you can't do that. So all these younger bands, they don't have anywhere to play. There's kids that are super talented that have nowhere to do it. Now we have this Riverwalk thing. Let's make an all-day, all-ages event. Let's just keep the music going.
An outdoor event where there's
Yeah.
there was beer there, but it wasn't prevalent. It
No,
wasn't
no,
like
no.
they weren't a main.
No.
I mean, the
part
adults
of it.
still may want to drink. So the whole thing is, and that was the thing. We had to separate our time from the younger event to the older event because obviously it's still family oriented, but we want to give them the option to do that. But yeah,
I mean, you can go to a baseball game and drink with your family.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, and drinking's not like evil or bad. It's just
no,
that
exactly.
you can't have
Yeah.
kids buying it.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So
If they want to enjoy a beer while they're listening to a band, I mean, I'm not. I don't think
family,
any of
yeah.
us are against that, you know. So
Definitely not.
Now, I asked before about your family, Doug, being supportive, and you said yes. Now, is that your immediate family, your wife, or is that your
My whole family.
adult family,
I actually,
your
this
parents?
is back in 2006. I got Palmetto is a small town, whether people believe it or not. Palmetto is a very small town, so news gets around and conflicts happen. I got really upset with the town, and I was there my entire life. I was like, I'm a musician. I'm getting out of here. So I bought a 35-foot bus. I painted it black cherry pearl, and I turned it into an RV. And I found a kid that I went to high school with, or he's like my little brother. I'd known him since I was 7. Taught him how to play guitar, and then a friend that I went to high school with played drums. I was like, beautiful. We're going to California. So we all quit our jobs. I turned my car back in and got a credit card and hopped on the bus.
Quit your job and then get the credit card? That's not the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah, no, I'm still paying on that one. But we headed up, and they'd never seen Nashville, so I was like, well, we'll stop there. We'll stop there first, because I played there on tour once, and then we'll, because I-10 was destroyed by the hurricane, so you could either take 20 or 40, so we went up to 40 in Nashville. Well, the bus broke down, ended up living there for 8 months.
In Nashville.
But my family, yeah, it was
And
crazy.
with the both band members, or did
With
they?
no, they stayed
all
with
three
me.
of you?
Yep, all three of
didn't
us.
you
They
guys?
stayed.
You guys lived above a venue or?
We
bar
lived
or-
in a rock venue, and that's where we worked for a place to stay because there was a efficiency upstairs, so that's where we lived. But my family, the whole time, I kept in touch, and my mom was a little upset at first. She was crying, but she talked to one of their coworkers, and they're like, you should let him do it. That's his dream. So she did.
Not
and-
just that, but it's you have to let them fly.
Yeah.
Fly, be
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But they love it. They are actually at the last pick and picnic, and I'm surprised my mom didn't cry, but they enjoyed it. They had a good time. Actually, my whole family was there. My uncles and aunts, my girlfriend and her mom, and it was just great. My family supports all the music that I do.
Very good. And the same applies
yeah,
to
my
both
whole
of you.
family was there Sunday.
Yeah. Mine also.
Yeah.
My whole family. That's a lot of
Yeah.
people too. My mom, my dad.
Oh,
my
you mean all
2
those people
brothers,
were your
my sister.
families?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the,
There
Those are
was
all our
no one
families.
else there.
Nobody else
just
really
all
came.
family.
Just all family.
All right. Where do you see yourselves going from here?
Well, we take it day by day actually, because we all have full-time jobs and
But you're aiming for having the music as your full-time job?
It would be great. We're actually, since we're taking small steps with our full-time jobs, possibly next year we'd be doing a tour. That's
Yeah.
the plan. We got this little EP out. We want to do a full length, and then
The EP has how many songs? 5?
it's 5.
Four-
Well, it's
4
technically it's
songs and
4
an intro.
songs. It's one an intro and then 4 songs. So.
Okay.
4-song
Yeah.
EP. We have a lot more that we need to record, but with the time that we had to record.
Well,
before
it's
the
a good
Pick and
intro.
Picnic.
It's a good introduction for getting it
Yeah.
out there and setting up your tour.
It's a
So
great way
that's
to
a good
start.
start.
Well,
Yeah.
what's
Absolutely.
nice is I travel with my job, and I've been all over the states, and I have a lot of contacts, and we're just going to try to utilize them.
Yeah.
Try
we,
to do.
we all have kind of flexible jobs, and I'm self-employed. I have a web development business, so yeah. I
So
mean,
you're able to get it out over the internet.
Yeah,
which we
exactly.
do have the EP for download.
yeah, it just became available today on our site.
On your site now, are you on CD Baby or Reverb Nation yet?
Oh, we are on Reverb Nation, correct, and we'll also be putting it on. It's not on Reverb yet, but we didn't have time to do that tonight before we left for band practice. But it will be on there tonight.
And what is your site?
It is
So-
facelessbandits.com.
Facelessbandits.com.
Yep.
So anybody
check
who
us out
wants
there.
to hear their music or buy their CD,
Yep.
go to facelessbandits.com. Now, do you have anything on YouTube?
Yes, we do. We have some previous Pick and Picnic stuff. We have a barbershop show. There's just random
And
stuff.
would they
really.
find that by looking at up Faceless Bandits
Yep.
on
Yep.
YouTube?
Yep. You can, if you go to our website, you can also find links to that stuff, to the YouTube videos, and it's also on Reverb Nation. A lot of our stuff is on there, so you can listen to previous tracks and stuff that we recorded. So
All right. Well, we're going to listen to one of your songs after this, and it was really great talking to y'all. Thank you for being on Culture Coast.
Thanks for having us. As we sit here on the ocean, watching birds fly by, we can see in the distance storms building in the sky. We'll brace for the impact and for giant waves. We hope we survive and are headed for our graves. Life is like our boat, carrying us through another day. We won't let go. Captain yelling to get off of the deck, so strap down everything and be sure to double check before you head to your room. Tie down every rope, then go down below to sit and wait and hope. Life is like our boat, carrying us through another day. We can't let go. Fell asleep to thunder and dreamt of reaching land, to feel the sun on our face and feet upon the sand. When we woke up in the morning, the skies were calm and still. Our prayers had an answer, we couldn't be more thrilled. Life is like our boat, carrying us through another day. We can't let go. Be brave. Life's like our boat, carrying us through another day. We can't let go. We must be
Nightmares, frightful visions during the night, causing terror and loss of sleep. Daymares, frightful visions during the day, causing fear and paranoia. Gothmares, gothic visions that can happen anytime, causing horror and disgust, but sometimes they offer answers. Read Gothmares if you dare. Gothmares, a young adult novel by Al Musitano, available on Amazon and fine bookstores everywhere.
Village of the Arts, the largest artist colony in the state of Florida, located on 42 acres, includes artists, homes, galleries, gardens, and restaurants featuring handcrafted gifts, fine art sculptures, painting, photography, enviro art, healing arts, books, mystics, and musical variety. A few of the galleries are unique in their offerings. Village Voices specializes in books and art created exclusively by Florida residents. The Dancing Crane Gallery offers fine art, custom jewelry, and unique, innovative art. The Village Mystic offers all things metaphysical: meditation, massage, mediums, aromatherapy, psychics, shamans, Reiki healing, and the gem mine, where you can mine for your own personal treasure. Yoga Arts offers classes or one-on-one coaching. Musicians and bands can be found throughout the area. Many of the artists and musicians offer classes. Restaurants and bakeries provide respite for the weary and magic for the foodies. Visit during the first Friday Art Walk and stroll through the shops and galleries enjoying free appetizers, wine, music, and demonstrations. For hours and information, please visit the website at www.villageofthearts.com.